Hey friends, it's Robin. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're just gonna do a super casual chatty video where we talk about all the books that are currently sitting on my KU TBR. I thought this would be a fun way to just kind of share some of the books that I will hopefully be reading soon, as well as some of my like Christmas TBR, a little peek inside what I might be reading soon. So I'm in my comfy chair, we're at a slightly different angle. I do always have all 20 spots filled, and that is definitely the case now, so we have a lot of books to talk about. So first up is Ignite by Melanie Harlow, and this is the first book in the second generation of the Cloverleaf Farms series. I really loved the Cloverleaf Farms series. I loved the family, I loved the setting, I love Melanie Harlow's romances, and this is the start of the second generation. I think it's the third or fourth book just got announced, and it was Tempt. It just came out, and that is like an age gap ex's dad romance, and I am desperate to get into that book. But I really want to read these in order because I do really love the family as you get to know them. And so I want to read these in order so that I can build that connection with the family. This has been on my KU TBR like a couple of times, and I never prioritize it, so it definitely needs to get moved up to the top of my priority list. Then we have Gothicana by, is it Runix? I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce this author's name. This is a dark academia sort of romance, adult romance, and I know nothing about this other than it is a gothic romance. This cover is stunning. I originally never had this on my TBR, on my radar at all, but then I don't know if it's a sequel or a spin-off, but the second book cover came out. I'm just gonna pop it up right here so you can see it. And these covers are so stunning. Apparently she gets this artwork legitimately painted for these covers, and it's absolutely beautiful. I'm pretty sure that a small indie UK publisher is going to be publishing these, and the covers are really pretty, but I don't think anything can top these original indie self-pubbed covers. So I kind of want to purchase them before they go away. I don't know if they're going to go away, but they are just so beautiful to me. Yeah, all I know about this one is gothic adult romance. That will hopefully be read at some point. Another new one is Heartless by Elsie Silver. I had asked over on my Instagram for some recommendations when I was going on my vacation to San Francisco, and so many people told me to read Elsie Silver. And so I finally downloaded one of her books. The only reason that I haven't picked up Elsie Silver yet is because her romances tend to be like cowboy rancher romances, and that is so not my jam. I am a city girl through and through, and so cowboy and farm things do not call to me in any way. I don't find that stuff attractive, so I have a hard time reading a romance about it because I'm like, why? Why would you want to live amongst animals and dirt? But everyone says that these books are so good, and I need to know what all the hype is about. I need to get on this and see if it is something that I can love, if Elsie Silver can convince me to get on board with a cowboy romance. I did ask some of the people that recommended this book or this series how cowboy it was, and everyone said it was not super cowboy-esque, so let me know if you agree or disagree with that statement. After that is What Was Meant to Be by QB Tyler, and I am so excited to read this one. I believe this one is on my December TBR, if I'm remembering correctly. If not, in my mind, it is on my December TBR. I love QB Tyler's books. They're so angsty, and I love a good love triangle. I know that's an unpopular opinion, but I live for it, and she just does them so well. I'm very excited to try this one. All I know about it is that it is a forbidden second chance romance between a heroine who is engaged and the love of her life who returns, and it is a love triangle between the three of them. I'm ready to just dive in and experience the angst that QB Tyler is so good at. And then, to nobody's surprise, is the next book in the Criminal Intention series. This is book 10. I don't remember the exact title of this one, but the cover will be up here. I download 3 at a time, and this is the last one that I had downloaded in that 3 chunk. So once I finish this one, I will download another 3 more. But yeah, I'm obsessed with this series. I think I can't remember if there's 12 or 13 books in season 1. Originally, my low-key plan was to finish it before the end of the year, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I'm barely reading this month, so I kind of want to do it in Q1 of, oh my god, Q1. Ooh, my office job is showing through in the first couple of months of 2023. Usually there's more, but we only have one of them. After that is "'Tis the Season for Revenge" by Morgan Elizabeth. This is another one that I very, very recently downloaded. I saw this like recommended to me in my Kindle Unlimited library homepage, whatever, and I was like, meh, whatever. But so many people that I follow on Instagram have read this and keep raving about how amazing it was. And I think it was Tori from Novel Life who said that this might be a favorite book of the year for her, which is wild to me for like a Christmas romance. And so now I need to know. I am assuming it's an enemies to lovers romance, but I know nothing about it. Absolutely nothing. I kind of hate this cover. I think it's just kind of corny. Nothing about it speaks to me, but so many people love this. But I need to know, why is there so much hype around this? Because like I said, this cover doesn't do anything for me. So I'm very interested to see like if it is as good as everyone says that it is. The next one is two books, and that is the next two books in the Tale of Two Cities by Alexandra Warren. I have both the Christmas novella as well as the New Year's Eve novella, and both of these are downloaded because I am going to be reading them for Smutathon. I don't know the synopsis for them, and I don't know what prompts are going to fit for Smutathon. If you haven't heard of Smutathon, it is hosted by Riley from Riley Marie, who will be linked down below. So Riley created two different bingo boards, the naughty board and the nice board, and they have corresponding prompts on them. I think there's 9 prompts for each. I thought this time it would be fun to choose the books and then see what prompts they fit for and see if I can get a bingo. So I don't know what the synopsis for these are. I'm trying to pick books without looking at the boards to like see how many bingos or like what I can fill with the books that I choose myself. So I'm trying to not look at that, if that makes any sense. But this series is like a whole holiday romance series, and they're all novellas, and none of the novellas are really connected in any way, other than the fact that they're all set around a holiday, and all of the main characters are named after US cities, hence Tale of Two Cities. But I really want to read the Christmas and the New Year's Eve one for Smutathon, since it is taking place in the week between Christmas and New Year's. I thought this was the perfect time. Then we get into a couple that I downloaded as recommendations. So we have The Night by May Archer, which was a recommendation from Mariah Reddit, who will also be linked down below. I have no idea what this one is about. I want to say this is book like 5 in a series. There is a note like on the description if you like go and look at this on KU, where the author says that you can read this as a standalone, but that you will like it more if you have like an attachment to the family. I'm gonna go in and read this one. Literally the only thing I know about it is that it is an romance set during the holidays. But I'm pretty sure Mariah gave this one 5 stars, and she is like serious about her 5 stars. She does not give those away very easily. And so whenever she gives away a 5-star, I'm like, okay, well, clearly I need to read this book. Then we have Ho 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 by Rilsey Adams, which I found this on Bree from In Love and Words' channel, who will also be linked down below. But she was going over, I think it was her holiday TBR. So I think it was like one of the first videos that she posted in December. She was talking about this because she was like, oh, I just downloaded this on a whim, whatever. And she read the little synopsis, and I was laughing so hard. It says something like, forget presents and mistletoe this season, I'm gonna ho ho ho. And I thought that was the funniest thing. If I'm remembering from that video correctly, this is about a heroine who is coming out of a divorce. And once her divorce papers are signed, she is ready to live it up for the holiday season. I don't know if this is a romance or if it's erotica. And this is another one that I'm going to read for Smutathon. So again, I'm trying to not like look too closely at anything. I don't want it to like impact what books I choose by looking at the boards. So the next one is A Kiss for Santa by Mia Monroe. And I saw this on Steph from Teacups and Tropes' Instagram, and she actually hated it. I want to say she gave it like 1 or 2 stars. I was like looking through stories and somebody else gave it like a 4 or 5. And I was like, okay, well now I need to know like which side of the spectrum I'm going to land on. I think this is another romance. and it might be like Santa's son, or Santa is falling in love with somebody. It has something to do with Santa. Like I said, I've been seeing such a range of readings for this one. Why is it so polarizing? I need to know. Another one that I got from Mariah, but is also a sequel to a book that I read last year and really like, is Christmas Wishlist by N.R. Walker. I read the first book, Tic Tac Mistletoe, last year because of Mariah, and this is the sequel. And if I'm remembering correctly, she didn't love book one, but gave this one like 4 or 5 stars. And I thought book one was super, super adorable. It is corny and cheesy and hallmarky, and I loved it. And so I'm really excited to see what this one does. I know the third book, I think it's like Christmas Cupid or something like that, came out this year. Again, romance. I don't know if this book is tied to book one. I have no idea other than romance. So another sequel is A Kingdom of Blood and Betrayal by Halle Renee. I read A Kingdom of Stars and Shadows at the end of November into December, and I was obsessed. I talked about this book a lot in my last reading vlog, which will be linked up above, but I was so addicted to this fantasy romance. It's not like life-changing and different and bringing a whole lot of new stuff to the table, but I loved it anyways. It's addicting, it's readable, and I need to read the sequel. The sequel just came out, I believe. I saw this cover going around everywhere, and book 3 has already been announced, like the title and everything. I really want to read this, and I'm hoping that I don't have to wait super long for book 3, because they always end on cliffhangers, and so I don't want to have to wait for a really long time. This one might be another one that I got off of Bree's holiday TBR, because I have no idea where I found this book or how it ended up on my Kindle. So I feel like it had to have been from Bree's holiday TBR, but that is Stocking Stuffers by Erin McLellan. I have no idea what this book is, guys. Like, I was looking through this to make this video to like write down this list, and I was like, what is this book? I have no idea, but I'm gonna read it. This is going to be one that I read for Smutathon, because it is really short. It's like, I think it's like 90 pages. So yeah, I have this. I have no idea where it came from. I don't know who recommended this or like whose TBR I saw this on, but I'm gonna read it for Smutathon. After that, we have another sequel, and that is Play Dirty by Anley James and Neve Wilder. This is the sequel to, oh, I don't even remember anymore. It was the only Anley James book that I haven't particularly loved, and I think part of it is because of the topic. This is like all following hackers and kill for hires, and it's a little ridiculous and out there. It's not my fave, which is funny because like I love her Necessary Evils series, which is all about adopted serial killers, so like also ridiculous. But this one just, it hasn't 100% worked for me. I'm going to read it because I want to read every single Anley James. I am almost done. I'm almost done with my year-long project of reading every single Anley James book so that I can do a whole video about it. Her backlist is long, all right? It is long, but I'm almost there. I have the rest of the series and 2 standalones. That is it. So we're making our way through. Then we have Resting Witch Face by Juliet Cross. This is the 5th book. This is book 5 in the Stay as Well series, and this is Jules's romance. I really want to read this series, but here's my holdup. I love the audiobooks for the series. I can't imagine reading this book physically and not listening to Aiden Snow in my head. I'm like on the fence about whether or not I just wait for the audiobook, but I have a feeling it's not going to come out until like next fall. So I'm like, do I wait? I don't know. I don't know, because I really want this romance, but I love the audiobook experience so much. The narrators are so good. I have this one sitting here in case I'm just like, I need this. It is a witch vampire second chance romance, and I want to read it. I want the audiobook. Next is one I got this from somewhere. I got this off of somebody's TBR, and I'm sure it was over on Instagram. I don't know who, so if it was you, let me know. But it was Let Your Heart Be Light by Faye Quinn. It's clearly an romance based on this cover, but that's it. That's what I know about it. Then we have Anastasia by Sophie Lark, and this is a really popular book going around right now. I did not realize until yesterday, because people were talking about it in the Discord for Riley's Patreon. This book's 800 pages long. Like, what? How did I not know that? I am really excited for it. This is going to be my first Sophie Lark book, and this is going to kick off a fantasy world series, I guess. She's going to reuse this world and set it in present day and write a vampire romance. and I'm so excited. So I want to read this one really bad, even though it's long. We're gonna make it happen. The last two are two more holiday romances. So we have The Holidates by Brittany Cherry. This is Brittany Cherry's first rom-com, and I'm so excited for this one. I downloaded this right away on release date. I love Brittany Cherry so much. I love her romances. She always makes me cry, and I'm excited to read something from her that's like lighthearted and fun and funny. Fun fact, Brittany Cherry is actually from my area, so she is a local author to me, and so I love getting to support her books. I've seen her at Trader Joe's before and fangirled so hard. It was very embarrassing, and my husband laughed at me. I actually know the synopsis for this one. It's following a heroine who got left at the altar on Christmas Eve, and despite that experience, she still really believes in love. She keeps going on first dates at the same restaurant, and the lead chef at the restaurant keeps seeing her there on all of these different dates. And he decides that he wants her out of his restaurant, so he tries to teach her how to get to a second date, and they fall in love. So it's like a grumpy sunshine romance. Oh, I'm so excited for it. It's gonna be adorable. And then lastly was one that I got from Heather from Kia Booktubes, and that is Christmas on the 13th Floor by Leisha Coe. I have read one other book in this series, which was, oh god, what was it called? Hallows Grove. And I loved that one. That was a best friend's brother romance, and it was super steamy and so good. But this one is a workplace romance. So we're following our heroine who is falling in love with her grouchy, grumpy boss. And I'm very excited for it. This is another one that I might hold on to for Smutathon just because I think it would be perfect for that. So that is all 20 books. Let me know if there are any books on this list that you're like, absolutely remove that. It was total garbage. Or if there are any on here that you think I should prioritize and move up my TBR and get to right away. Like I said, there's a lot of these that I don't even remember downloading or what they're about. So I'm really curious if you have any insight on like which ones I should read first. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I will catch you all in tomorrow's video. Bye.